So here's my anchor bag and my buoy. This is another anchor that I'm going to use next season, but I'll show you what I used last season. And will work in most cases, but yeah, I had a little trouble with it when the current was real strong. Sometimes I had a hard time hooking up, so I'm going to modify this anchor, cut the stalks off a little bit, cut the shank down, but it has bigger flukes. And this is the anchor, or the rope that's going to be tied to your bow. This colored one here is about 8 or 9 foot long, and I got a quick clip on here. So what you'll do with this rope, before you get out on the water, you'll put this on your bow, pull this all the way through, tighten it up, open your hatch up, and then you'll run this colored one right there. And when you close the hatch, your rubber seal will pinch down on it and hold it. If in your case, if you're using a little bit smaller rope, this rope here is about 3/8 in diameter. This stuff here is a 1/4 inch. If the rope is while you're out there and waves are pulling it through, then you can tie a knot in it. Just tie a knot in it right here, and then make sure that when you close it, you pinch that knot inside, and that way it won't come loose. And that's something you're going to need to watch while you're out there, that this doesn't come loose and end up down underneath there, because the more it comes out, the more it'll start pulling out. And so, got to keep it out of your pump. This rope here, there's a little crack right here, and I'm going to stick it in there. And you'll have to find where you want it to put this rope. Even if you don't have a quick release, you'll need some means of being able to get this rope back while you're seated, because there's no getting over here to the front unless you jump off the jet ski out there in the water. So when you're anchored up and you're anchored by your bow eye and the ropes that way, you got to be able to pull this back towards you. Okay, so what I've got for my anchor here is my bungee cord. It's a 6 to 9. Last year I was using this shorter one here, and it worked, but I think sometimes when the waves were a little big and the current was strong, it was getting maxed out. So this coming season I'm going to use one a little bit longer, and it's a 6x9. It's made by Airhead. You can get them wherever. I got this one on Amazon, but you can get it on Bass Pro Academy, wherever. I got that one at Academy. Okay, so the anchor, this is a Danforth style anchor, and you can see the size difference. The flukes are just a tad bit bigger, and the shank, or the stock on this one was a little bit longer, but I cut them off to fit in this anchor bag that you also get at Bass Pro Shop. And so then you'll need a shackle there, and at the end of the chain, you don't necessarily need a shackle, but I have one. And this is 4 foot, 1/4 inch galvanized chain. And so this little anchor would probably work if I added another 2 foot of anchor chain, or maybe went to a 5/16 anchor and 6 foot. It would probably work, but I'm just going to go ahead and try and modify this one and see how it works. If it ends up being too heavy, I'll compare them, and just not worth the extra effort, then I'll probably go back to this one and try it out. But one of the problems with this one is that it's a slip anchor. And so in theory it's supposed to work well, but what really happens is when you let it go, it starts fluttering in the water, and then it starts going down like that, and then it slides up, and then you're down on the bottom of the ocean pulling it backwards. And so it won't hook. So you'll have to go back, righten it back out, and then get it right. So what you could do is put a tie wrap around here, put a bunch of, or weld a little piece of a rod in there or something like that. If you have this style to keep it from sliding back, I personally don't like it at all. If I do continue to use it, I'm going to do something about it. I'll weld a little piece of iron in there. Okay, and the rope is hollow braid polypropylene. This is the stuff you want to get. Get the yellow one. It's high visibility, that way you can see it out there. Don't get hemp rope or anything like that. Just go get this stuff. It's cheap. I think Academy has 100 foot for like $5. Oh, and this little anchor, it'd probably work too if I had more rope. But 100 foot's kind of already enough to be dealing with. I'll probably add another 25 foot to it maybe, but I couldn't find anywhere I could find one piece of 125 or 150. I don't want to tie a knot in it, so I'm just going to go to the bigger anchor. But if you're familiar with anchoring and the angles and the depth of the water, then 100 foot's actually already too short, but it does work for these jet skis. So put all this back in there, I'll put the anchor on top, get on my bungee cord, throw that in there, and cinch it up like that. Grab it, throw it in there, and then I'll take this little piece. It isn't required, but it comes in handy. I got a little Gopro ram ball mount right there, and I'll just hook it on there. And so, like I said, make sure that's tight. Close the hatch, and it's ready to go. 1/4-inch shackles. When you put these on, you want to thread them all the way finger tight, and then just get some pliers and go another 1/4 to a 1/2 turn. You got to get real tight. But so you don't want that thing backing out, and you just got to tighten a little bit, and it'll stay. But if you're ever out on the water and you need to take it off for some reason, then you can use your fishing pliers to get it loose. So don't get it super tight. All right. So now, if I was ready to anchor up, I got the engine off right now. But when you're out there, sometimes you'll have the engine running because your proximity to the rig, or you're trying to hold a point, or the current's pretty strong. So you'll have to get used to what you're doing, be familiar with it. You definitely need to practice either in a river or go offshore somewhere to practice this. That way you're not doing it out there for the first time. So I keep everything in my front hatch, and so I'll grab my anchor bag, set it next to me, pull out my buoy, grab my rope, and this here is a quick connect clip that I got on eBay somewhere. It's quick release. It's all stainless steel. I don't even remember what they called it, but I knew what I wanted, so it took me a while to find it, but I finally found it. But I bought this on eBay, and it worked most of last season. It's still going good. All right, so get your anchor bag. I've already got my buoy connected. Somebody's doing a bunch of shooting. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Alright, so I'll drop my anchor. And the water here is only 15 foot deep, but out there in the ocean, obviously, it'll be a lot deeper. And always drop my anchor on my left side, because my transducer is on the underside. So you want to try and keep your rope out of the transducer if you've got it mounted on the back of your hull like I do. So just keep letting the line out, and the rope, like I said, does a pretty good job of not getting tangled up. And I prefer to be turned around when I'm doing this. As you can see, the rope's going underneath my jet ski. It's not ideally the way I like doing it, but sometimes you're not always in control of things, so learn how to do it even the hard way. And so I know the anchor's hooked up now, so I can go ahead and just hold it, and it'll spin me around. So now I can really let it out the way I like to. It's spinning a little bit too much. Alright. Okay, so now I'm at the end of my rope. And what I'm going to do is take my quick release clip and just hook it on my buoy and connect it, and that's it. And so I'll let all this go, make sure you ain't got no tangles and everything's loose, and it's hooked up, and just let it go. And it'll pull me around in a minute, and then I'll just put my bag back in the front, but I'll just put it back. Or I'll leave it out since I'm about to use it again. I got this little ram ball mount here, and I use that for stuff like that right there. Just something to attach to this, that way I don't lose nothing. Okay, so I'm anchored up. Here's my quick release line. And so if you get a bite on or something, or you just want to go try a different spot, but you want to leave your anchor, then some guys have the rope, they don't have the quick release, and so they have to pull it back and unclip it by hand. Well, I can do it with just this rope. Just got to give it a pull, and it comes loose. So then pull all my rope back in, and either if I'm going to fight a fish, I'll just drop it right there and hold on to it, or just be aware that it's hanging down there and not start the engine. If I'm going to move, well, then I'll throw it all back in the front. So I'll just hold on to it. I'll start up. Alright, so my buoy's over there. Let's say I've finished fighting the fish, I want to go back and get it. Now if the current isn't real strong out in the ocean like it is in the river, I'll just reach down and I'll grab it by my hand. Or I've got my gaff in the back. I got a short little gaff that floats, and so I'll use that gaff and I'll hook that rope. But as soon as you hook it, you need to be cognizant of where the rope is. That way you don't want to get that thing sucked up. Alright, so we'll go get it, and I'll show you how to reel it back in. So just come alongside it, and grab that rope, and shut your engine off. So at this point, you can start to pull it all back in. Put your anchor down there, your buoy, and stand on it also. But see, if the current is real strong out there, the wind's blowing in pretty good right now, and the river's flowing a little bit, I'd have to pull myself all the way back 100 feet. So something I can do is start my engine, make sure I got all my rope locked down, and I'll pull it at an angle. And you don't want to go real fast, because you don't want to rip all this stuff out of your hand and out from underneath your foot and get hung up in it. And so this is going to take practice, and you'll just have to guesstimate about how far you've gone. And then what I'll do is I'll cross back over a little bit so that I'm somewhere directly over my anchor. I'm guessing. Shut the engine back off. And what I'm going to do now is drift towards it. And so I can just pull the rope in real quick. Wherever you choose to practice this, if you do it in the river, just remember, when you're out there and the current's moving at 4 miles an hour, you've got other people around you, or the rig, you need to be prepared for it all. So just definitely, what I'm saying is practice. Practice in similar conditions. Go offshore a few hundred yards, half mile or something like that, and practice. Okay, so I got all my rope. I'll set my anchor down. Let go of my chain. Get my bag, and I'll put the rope in first. Oh, and another thing, I've got a piece of rubber. It's 1/8 inch thick rubber that I cut and I put in the bottom, because it is an anchor bag and it's got somewhat of a durable bottom, but I did cut through one of them one time with the anchor. So if you got a old piece of carpet or rug or something that you can put down there, that'll help if you choose to get this exact same bag. So then I'll put my anchor in there on top of the rope and just dump all that in there. Get my bungee, shove all that in there. And tighten it back up. So now I'm ready to put it back in the front. So I'll drop that in there, and then I'll take this little string and I'll just hang it right there. That way it's easy to grab. Grab my rope and kind of pop it around the front like that. Pull it tight. You want it tight up underneath that corner right there. That'll help hold it tight. Especially if you got a lot of wave action over the bow. That wave will be wanting to pull that rope out. And if I'm done for the day, I'll throw all this stuff in there. But normally this will stay up here. It came loose on me. But that stays right there. Got a knot to keep it from coming out. So pull that one tight. And just let it go at the very end. Slam it shut. And that's it.
Alright, I'm at Lowe's, and you'll need 100 foot of hollow braid poly rope. This is 100 foot by quarter. It's rot and mildew resistant, and it floats, and it costs $7.78. And then you'll come down here to this section, and you'll need to get a shackle. This one's a stainless 5/16, but you can get the 1/4 inch galvanized. That'll work, or the stainless steel, whichever one you want. All right, here's the chain. All they got in stock right now is a 5/16 galvanized. So that's $282 per foot, and then the 1/4 inch is $221. This is what 1/4 inch looks like, but this is zinc plated, So like I said, don't get anything that's zinc plated. It'll hold up for a little while, but eventually it'll start rusting. So just get the galvanized. All right, I'm at Walmart and they've got the anchor chain kits that comes with 4 foot of 1/4 inch chain and 2 shackles, and that's for almost $16. So you can either go this route or piece it together by going to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever, or if you already got some chain. But if you go with this, then you're limited to 4 foot, and based on my experience, 4 foot's the absolute minimum. I think 6 foot's even better. Don't get any of these types of anchors. This is the kind of anchor you need, but this is a slip anchor, so this slips right here. I kind of don't like that. I'll explain that later. You'll need a buoy right here, this exact same one for $23.96. And they got some rope here. This is polypropylene rope, hollow braid. I kind of don't like it. I like the one at Lowe's better. They got this stuff here, but it's only 40 foot. But go ahead and grab one of these for $1.96 and just throw it in your stuff and keep it in case you ever need it as emergency stuff. I'm at an Academy and they got the 1/4 inch polypropylene for 100 foot for $5, so that's a pretty good deal compared to Lowe's. I got these. I use these. You don't have to necessarily buy them, but that's something I use. The floating dock lines, floating, important. They got the galvanized chain kit, 6 foot for $15. That's a pretty good deal. So if you're going to Academy, just get that one. They got the coated one also, but it's only 4 foot. The anchor lines, don't get these anchor lines, even though they call them anchor lines. Too big, don't need anything that big. Check this out, Marine Raider galvanized shackle. That is galvanized. Marine Raider galvanized shackle, stainless steel shackle. Oh, it says stainless steel in the corner. Dumbasses.